Glad to see so many people on this open webinar interested in how we use open badges and cities of learning to value and recognize skills which young people gain in our programs. So hopefully the next what's coming will allow you to get a very practical picture of what we do with partners. And I would like to introduce my colleague, Sandra, who will be actually starting this sharing. We will have 4 examples shared by partners. Each time it will be 10 minutes. Sandra from Breakthrough Foundation Netherlands will be sharing how they are getting young people fit for the future. So Sandra, over to you.
Thank you, Nerijs. Good morning. So like Nerijs said, my name is Sandra. I'm living in the Netherlands. I am part of Breakthrough Foundation, and Breakthrough Foundation is supporting Tilburg City of Learning. And Tilburg City of Learning, as we see it, is also a learning platform where young people can find their opportunities that connects with their interests. Here you see a very nice picture of the beautiful station in Tilburg, a very nice station. And what I will start first with is that I want to introduce you the Youth Codesigned Tilburg City of Learning project. And that's a project that is also funded by Erasmus+, and where we are working on youth participation for 2 years with young people and with young people co-managing in the project also. So there's a very big part of participation in the project. In this project, young people from Tilburg will do youth consultations. So they have done interviews with young people about their lives in Tilburg. What do they face? How were they learning? How are they learning? What do they see in the future in 2030? So we have done, or young people have done, very in-depth interviews with other young people. So what we want to do, which is connected with this, or what we are doing, which is connected with this project, is that we as organization want to integrate digital literacy development from young people in our youth work projects. So what we are very much looking for in all the projects that we are running is that we are supporting young people with a digital literacy program. If you look at in this project, we are searching for narratives from young people in Tilburg and how they see the future, how they can be role models for the next young people who are following up in the same age as they are. And we, together with young people, after deciding what is needed and not there yet in Tilburg City of Learning, they will develop resources and activities for other young people in Tilburg. And we are doing that with a group of young people that is long-term connected with Tilburg City of Learning. So will also support them via a leadership training course to be the lead learner, be the role model for other young people in their city. What the youth team will do is deliver 5 workshops about how to use Tilburg City of Learning, which is the digital platform. And what we see is that young people are for them it's easy to understand the Tilburg City of Learning platform, but sometimes it's more difficult for the adults who will also post activities on the platform to use the digital tools that they want to use. So will deliver 5 workshops. They also will create 10 learning pathways, and at the moment young people have in this project created 5 learning pathways themselves. So I will show you later on one of them. And again, then we are sharing with young people and educating young people in how to use this digital learning platform and all the tools around. They will promote the activities and earning open badges. So open badges are, as we use them in this project, as a gamification tool for guiding the learning process, but also at the same time recognizing the learning via an open badge. And they are at the moment also joining virtual exchanges, so online virtual exchanges, where we also again support the young people with how to behave, what are the do's and don'ts during a virtual exchange, an online meeting with other young people in Europe, and etc. What you see here on the right is one of the activities that young people have developed themselves. So this is Get Future Fit. What young people really want is that, here you see the Tilburg City of Learning platform, and what they want is that young people to support other young people to be future fit. What you see here is in Dutch. I put the English version of the platform, but also in Dutch, the text is there still because the young people want to understand it, Dutch young people. And so this playlist, and a playlist is a set of activities, will guide young people to future perspective. So what do they want to do in the future and where do they want to be? If you see here, for example, one of the items that young people really wanted to have inside is digital to fill in worksheet. So if you click on these boxes, then people can type in themselves what they want, and then it will be a digital tool which they can change later. And so it is a PDF where young people can type in and develop their whole route towards 2030. This is all based, this whole system, so you can see here the activities. This whole playlist consists of about 5 activities. So one is the Future Fit worksheet. The second one is the future skills. So what are future skills? And if you look here inside this activity, they talk about 5 skill zones. And in this skill zone, and this is created by Institute for the Future, these are the global youth skills. So the young people decided to connect with the global youth skills, which are make yourself known, make sense, keep it going, befriend machines, and build your tribe. So again, as youth organization, we included the befriend machines, which is a digital literacy part. Befriend Machines is one of the skill zones that young people want to work on, and they are still searching for what is Befriend Machines. So in 2030, what do we need to know? What do we need to be able to do? And what Global Youth Skills says is that every young person at least needs to find ways to collaborate with digital machines, all kinds of machines, working for them over the next decades. So young people will work together with machines or digital machines, but also machines will work for young people. And sometimes, for example, you can even think about, will AI be, or a robot will be part of your team? So if you think about collaboration, nowadays we are only thinking about collaboration between people. So you have a team meeting with only people inside. But what if AI will join you in your team, and how to collaborate in a team with AI involved? Those are things that we are talking right now together with young people in Tilburg. And what also is very important is that each young person needs to find their own unique role in this process, in this global human machine. Because for everyone, the future will look different, and it needs to have a personalized path. What we have done in these activities also to support the Befriend Machines skill zone is, in the activities that are on Tilburg City of Learning, we have included badges, and also we have included Befriend Machines open badges where activities are behind. So there are 3 in this system. There are 3 open badges: A1 IQ, digital fluency, and simulated actions. And involved are activities in these activities are how to chat with an assistant, a digital assistant. How are you doing that? Do you know which words you are using? What is AI, and how to do emotional intelligence, for example, together with computers or AI, and simulated actions. When young people have earned these 3 badges, then they will earn a bigger badge, which is the Befriend Machines badge, the master badge in this program. For the global youth skills, you can see here that the badge system is not only consistent about this Befriend Machine system, but all the 5 skill zones are in here. And the skill zones, so it's not one skill, or it is not one competence, but it is a skill zone where different skills are fit in one skill zone. And because of the personalized learning path that young people want to create, these skills are also different for each person. And that not only, so it is one Befriend Machine master badge, but also a make yourself known master badge, make sense master badge, build your crew master badge, and a keep it going master badge. What are we learning at the moment for when we are using cities of learning together with young people? The most important part that for us is that we need to start trying out with young people. That's the only way how we learn as organization. So young people need to use it. They are the users, so they need to like the platform that we are using, otherwise they will not use it. They really like to be involved in the designing of the activities and the open badges. So they are together with experts designing these activities. Also, they say themselves, don't listen too much to what organizations need, because there's a difference in what organizations, sometimes there's a difference in what organizations want and need and what young people want. That is what we are trying to do, at least in Tilburg City of Learning. And what we learned from this project is that we need to think outside the existing box, especially because we are learning towards 2030 and we don't know yet how 2030 will look like. We need to invent and invest and do research and just try out. When we are talking with young people about the open badges, there are also some recommendations from them. Is there in the Netherlands what the Dutch formal education really wants and what the business field really wants is that they want to recognize competences gained in their own words. Formal education and the business field wants to recognize what young people have learned outside school. And what we are trying out right now is that we connect with the existing competence frameworks, recognize and connect with formal education and the business field. Also, what we hear from young people is that we need to look at who the young people are, also how to issue the badges. So in what way we issue badges depends on the target group. So it is always also, again, this personalized route that we are searching for. And those were my slides and our project that is still running until for the next 1.5 years. Thank you. Back to Nereus.
Thank you, Sandra, for this comprehensive sharing of what you do in terms of helping and supporting young people to develop future fit skills. And we'll continue, but before doing that, I posted a couple of references because some people asked about the skills framework you were presenting. Where does it come from? It sounds like futuristic one. So I posted that it comes from Institute for the Future, which researched a bit into the future and created this framework of global youth skills. So the link is available. And also similar to what Sandra was presenting, where we, Vilnius City of Learning, we also use this framework to work with young people and make them aware of future skills. And I will be talking about this in a later stage. But now I would like to give word to Henry, who is our partner in South Africa, Ready for Life, and he will be presenting and sharing briefly how they work with developing skills of young people using open badges and Eastern Cape region of learning. So Henry, over to you.
Thanks everyone. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Henry, partnering with Ready for Life, and it's my pleasure to introduce the organization as well as activities and our participation within the project with all of you. Of course, Ready for Life, we are based in South Africa. The picture that you see there was actually taken on the 10th anniversary celebrations with our building at the background. Ready for Life extensively used the experience of international students as well as volunteers, which we would then actually link to specific projects in schools or in our disadvantaged communities. There you can also see a nice picture of Port Elizabeth, at least our World Cup 2010 stadium also there, the North End Lake. We also have on the left-hand side our harbour, but more in the middle, the townships, and that is our focus area to target the disadvantaged community as well as to uplift them. Some of the projects that we were busy with, for example, our Smart City project in the Nelson Mandela Bay region. We also focus on 4IR essential computer literacy skills. We also partner quite a lot with incubators, ICT incubators like the iHub, like Propeller, and we would like to focus more on the pre-incubation phase before these entrepreneurs enter the incubation. And of course, we extensively do ICT support for township schools by maintaining, refurbishing their computer labs also. Then at the bottom, you see some of our volunteers in action. Another successful program was Swim Safe, where we actually teach the youngsters, the township youngsters, how to swim and also how to enjoy our beaches safely. When it comes to our digital literacy frameworks, because South Africa don't have its own framework, we actually look at international frameworks like the UNESCO one, the European one, the DIGICOM 2.1, as well as even the United Kingdom standards. And we've decided to use DIGICOM 2.1 as a reference model, as a framework, because it's already synthesized with other major digital literacy frameworks. It's very extensive, long consultation development process. We are quite happy with that. And it also represents a comprehensive view of all the different competencies areas that we actually need. Of course, there's a lot of content available, and that is just a picture of the material that we're also currently using. And then, of course, as part of Digital Generation Youth, we also use open badges. We're also part of the Cities of Learning platform. And we are quite happy to partner all these esteemed cities. Of course, on the right-hand side, you will see Eastern Cape Regions of Learning. And our wish is also for this platform, of course, to grow more. This is just a screenshot of our website, the Eastern Cape Regions of Learning. You can see Port Elizabeth on bottom right-hand corner there. So it's quite a large region to cover. But for now, our focus, of course, is only Port Elizabeth. And Sandra will still remember we did about 2 activities in Jeffreys Bay. When it comes to best practices, what we normally do is to refer all our clients or whoever we interact with our Regions of Learning platform, our Badgecraft platform. And also, there's also in this specific screen, you can see there's also some efficient rules when developing or executing digital badges initiatives. Just some examples. So yes, that is our presentation for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry, very much for sharing about your digital literacy programs you implement in Port Elizabeth. I had still very pleasure to be visiting your place when we had a study visit together with the project of Digital Generation Youth. I think it was one of the last opportunities for us to meet live, and now we carry on a lot of activities online. Thank you again.
So now from South Africa, we are traveling to Nigeria, I think. So Tarera Emina is ready to share the practices implemented by the Women's Technology Empowerment Center from Nigeria, from Lagos. And yeah, looking forward to know the activities you are doing in your organization and your area.
Like I said earlier, my name is Tare with WTech, the Women's Technology Empowerment Center in Lagos, Nigeria. And we work primarily with girls and women, equipping them with digital skills. We are really working to develop the next generation of women tech entrepreneurs. And we do this through a variety of programs. We have our Early Innovators program, which I will be touching on, which is geared towards more of the younger kids, and also includes boys. However, the other programs, such as our After School Club, our Academy, a Mentor Her program, and a variety of other programs which we use to equip women with digital skills that we run. And so today I'll be talking about the Early Innovators program. Early Innovators program is typically a 2-week camp. Usually before the pandemic, and it was 2 weeks, and it's taught young kids technology in a fun way, using hands-on and project-based methodology. So last year, because of the pandemic, we had the camp online, so it was virtual, and it ran for 4 weeks. And the goal of the camp really is to create a generation of young programmers, designers, entrepreneurs who can innovatively build amazing games, apps, and more. So I'll be talking shortly about the different modules in the Early Innovators program that we taught last year. So the first one is animation programming with Scratch. So we taught the kids how to use Scratch, which is an application, and it's block-based. It's a block-based visual programming language where you can create interactive stories, animation, and games. During the course, students learned the basic of programming concepts, created stories, and also created games. Then we moved on to game design with Roblox, which is another application. Roblox is an online 3D game platform that allows users to program games and play games created by other users. The students got introduced to Roblox. They created their own account, created their own Obi game. And Obi in the game, you have to jump over obstacles and don't fall off the stage. And you see a picture of the game at the end of my presentation. So then we also taught them video game design with Kodu. Kodu is another application, Kodu programming language made specifically for creating games to teach kids basic programming principles. While students were having fun creating shooting games, racing games, they were also learning basic programming skills. And the last module was video production, which taught kids how to create videos using pictures and using words as well. And we did this with Kid Story Builder. Okay, so I'll be talking about how WTech has used the digital open badges. We used it for a variety of our programs, the Early Innovators Camp, the She Creates Camp, as well as our Makerspace program. First of all, these programs have been aligned with the Digicom 2.1 framework, as Henry talked about as well. We aligned our programs with that framework because we wanted it to be aligned with a standardized framework. And we felt the Digicom 2.1 framework was a really good one to use. So as for the design, we wanted something that was simple, that represented WTech, especially our logo colors. And we made sure to ensure that our logo is in the image. And as you can see on the right-hand side of the slide, that is what the badge looks like. And it changes with the label on it, changes with the module. So as you can see, that one says animation programming. So the one for game design would be different, and the one for video game design as well as video production would have a different label on there. And it would say Early Innovators on the top, just like it does on this one. And then each badge was issued for the completion of the module. For instance, if a student participated in the game design module with Roblox and was able to create a game, then they would get a badge. We didn't necessarily make them have to put evidence of the game because they're much younger. The age range was really young. We had young children between the ages of 6 and 12. So we didn't want to make it too difficult for them. So if they just completed the module, then they would get the badge. And a lot of the children also, do not have email addresses, and they may need assistance to do projects and assignments. And so we wanted it to be as simple as possible. And we considered their attention span as well in designing these modules and issuing these badges. For that, we made sure that it was as easy as possible. For some of our other programs, such as our Makerspace and our She Creates Camp, our Makerspace, we had our students answer a few questions and then they were able to earn the badge. But for the She Creates Camp, we had them submit their weekly projects. So say it was Python programming that they would learn that week, then they would submit their project for the Python programming and then they would get the badge. And so for those ones, they had to provide evidence, but for this particular one, no evidence was needed. They just needed to complete the module. And then on this slide, you can see an example of the game that they would create with, I believe this is with Roblox, a game where they created Obi, and Obi would have to jump over obstacles so that they don't fall off the stage. So this is one of the games created by one of our students. And then on the next slide is another example of a module activity, which is Kodu, which was done using Kodu. And it's a game as well where one of our students created, and the castle is the end of the racing game. The game would start from this platform, and then we'll go all the way to the castle, which is the end of the game. So that's on some of the module activity and our WTech's use of digital open badges in our Early Innovators program. Thank you.
And I'd like to welcome my colleague from the organization Nectaris that I'm also part of. And Neri's gonna present a program called Future Makers.
So I would like to present what we are doing with Vilnius City of Learning and our Future Makers program, where we actually innovate with a rather exciting InnoBox toolkit. I will briefly talk about InnoBox and how we use it, including badges and the Vilnius City of Learning platform. What is InnoBox is actually a toolkit, a physical box with a lot of inside it, and it's designed for youth leaders and youth workers to innovate new practices. In this box, you can find a number of tasks which helps to develop new operating methods, procedures, or services for youth work. So whatever organizations are offering to young people, but also young people themselves can innovate with what they do. Of course, focus is digital transformations. And InnoBox can be used either alone, so you go step by step through different cards in this toolkit, or you can form a team within your organization or have a training workshop around different steps included in the InnoBox. Was originally created by Verke, which is a Finnish expertise center for digital youth work. And we collaborated with them, and they supported us in translating InnoBox to our language and making it available in our country. What does InnoBox include? It includes a number of cards, which, taking one by one, you actually go with exercises. It also has an exercise book where you are invited to take notes, to use some templates to reflect on different aspects of your work, on activities, on what you want to make as a change. Certain things like Canvas, where you can present your innovation as a structured way, or WOW, an exercise which allows you to evaluate the idea, a proposal from several perspectives. There is another exercise called Scale, which allows you to look into several scenarios of the same activity you want to innovate. For example, you can think of a digital version of the same thing, or totally physical, not including any digital, or perhaps a combination of digital and physical. The box has very clear steps to follow. You start from analyzing environment, how is it changing, what kind of mega trends affecting our life, society, the work we carried on, and then you make conclusions what needs to be improved, changed. It includes also creativity techniques. Innovation is also needing creativity. So it allows you to practice creative brain and creative thinking techniques. Then you look into problem solutions from different perspectives, often from young people's perspective, and then from organizations' perspective, and matching the ones that makes sense, prioritizing ideas, further developing solutions, and then packaging and presenting your innovative ideas. What we created when started to use the InnoBox, we actually created digital tools, learning playlists and badges on Cities of Learning platform. And we practiced this during the autumn period. So already in spring, we felt that most likely we will have very tough quarantine measures in place. So we will not be able to organize any physical activities. So we were getting ready for a fully digital version of using InnoBox with a number of people and organizations. So how did we do? We actually created a number of learning playlists on Vilnius City of Learning, which included 6 topics. We also, similar to Tilburg City of Learning, we focused on global youth skills as a starting point. So we created a playlist where young people could self-assess their readiness for the future, look into their strengths, skills they possess now, and where and how they can develop these skills in the city. And then we offered another playlist which was focusing a lot about analyzing changing world, looking at how different trends influence our organizations, our work, our careers, our learning, and how technology is actually affecting the way we live. Then, of course, creativity, full playlist, many creativity techniques, challenges and solutions, and a playlist where participants of our courses would look into what is challenging for young people right now and how these challenges can be addressed by smart, innovative digital solutions. And then the last two ones were actually facilitating creation and development of ideas for innovation and packaging and presenting them. Here's an example of a playlist on creativity. It had around 10 different activities, what people could accomplish. Some of these activities we also realized during a series of Zoom webinars. So for each course, we offered 5 interactive facilitated Zoom webinars. And we usually would take at least 1 or 2 activities from the playlist to complete together with the group. And then later on, we followed them with activities on the platform. So people were completing them independently and then submitting evidence to get a badge. How badges would look like, you would have a playlist badge, which would require several badges from the activities included in that playlist. So here's an example from a badge about how you prepare your presentation of solution and different activities you need to complete in order to get the playlist badge. And the evidences we were reviewing needed, we were helping to improve them or even extend some understanding and knowledge about specific topic or activity. And at the end of the course, usually we were issuing a badge generated certificate. So all badges which people would earn on different playlists, they would appear on a certificate, a digital one. And in this way, people would have proof of their participation, involvement, but even more. Every certificate would be unique to the badges what person was earning in the program. And some results and impact. In total, during the autumn period, we implemented 3 online courses, 80 plus participants joining. At different moments, we were, of course, different numbers of participants joining. In total, we had 35 young people from this 80 participants group, because we very much also targeted to organizations which deliver programs to young people to be able to cope with the current conditions and perhaps integrate more digital youth work in their activities. And throughout the different activities, we were issuing more than 830 badges to participants who completed tasks on the Cities of Learning platform. Some of the quotes from young participants, we see that the InnoBox helps young people to develop essential skills for their careers, learning, and life. Here, one quote talking about teamwork, importance of teamwork and working together in a practical way. Another person was referring a lot about how InnoBox helped to create a solution for offering more support to other young people in finding jobs, especially if you are maybe under 18, which is not easy to find an internship or a starting job. This young participant was referring how InnoBox and the course helped them to create such a solution for their peers. We are thankful for your attention, and should you want to follow us, contact us, and we will be happy to collaborate and share more about how we use InnoBox in our work. And of course, this wouldn't be possible without support from Verke organization, which helped us in translating the InnoBox and supporting throughout the process of designing workshops and delivering them. Plus, funding partners were also very helpful to be able for us to publish it and deliver to houses of people who participate in this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone willing to jump in?
I want to thank all the presenters for the presentations. I think it was very interesting and could have learned a lot about recommendations about what to do and opportunities that Open Badges and Cities of Learning platform can give.